If you want to make money, let's figure something else out. And I hate it.
Gervonta Davis. It's like when
Who do you got?
you guys need to fight guys your fucking same size.
When you see this fight, do you see like Tank just having his way with Jake? Like given like no?
No, I'm gonna tell you this is what I tell Tank, and Tank said it in the interview. I said, Tank, y'all go in there doing y'all thing. Woo, woo, woo.
UFC President Dana White didn't mince words when addressing the upcoming clash between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, calling the entire event ridiculous. He criticized the idea that Paul could legitimately face a fighter of Davis's level, especially under what he described as uneven and questionable conditions. According to White, the rules seem designed to favor entertainment over competition, turning the matchup into more of a spectacle than a genuine sporting contest.
The Jake Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. He said it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The next dispute comes with the gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Oh, so Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach. Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake. Exhibition though, can he win? Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges. So he can actually still win and knock him out. But here's the trick. It's body punches only. And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall? At Jake Paul's belly. Oof. So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved. But Jake Paul for the win.
The official rules for the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis showdown have now been confirmed. The fight will be classified as an exhibition match, meaning it won't impact either fighter's professional record. The bout is set for 10 rounds, each lasting 3 minutes. Both fighters must weigh in at no more than 195 pounds, and they'll be wearing 12-ounce gloves, slightly heavier than standard competition gloves. The match will be scored by 3 authorized judges, and if it goes the distance, an official winner will be announced based on their scorecards.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a victor, because the fighters have agreed and the commission has approved a maximum weight of 195 pounds for this exhibition. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds. The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds, and when Tank and Jake enter the squared circle to go to battle, they will be wearing 12-ounce gloves. Sitting ringside will be 3 commission-approved world-class professional judges that will score every round to ensure there's a decisive outcome for the fight if it goes the distance. And both men are enrolled in the highest level of testing with USADA. So Tank, Jake, thank you for doing this. Thank you for giving boxing another massive moment, headlined by yourselves, featuring multiple world title fights.
Boxing insiders are voicing serious concerns over the glove setup for the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis bout, with Davis moving up far beyond his natural weight class to face a significantly heavier opponent. His longtime trainer Calvin Ford has highlighted the gloves as a key issue. Ford pointed out that both fighters are expected to wear 12-ounce gloves, noticeably heavier than the gloves Davis typically uses in his lightweight fights, raising questions about how this change might impact his speed and performance.
Actually, when I heard about the fight, they called me and said, what you thought about the fight? I said, the fight doable. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched Tanky for years, and I watched other young men in gyms, you know, deal with big guys. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he's big. To me, it's like Jake having his first open fights. If anybody know about the amateurs going open, then you go pro. So, you know, he's going to fight a guy that does have skills. You know what I'm saying? My only concern is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s. So he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers. They was, no, we don't want to do no mixed match. It's supposed to be an expedition. What, you know, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tank don't really care, you know? So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So, again, you know, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s. Then we got to fight, you know?
The weight, how's that going to work out? Like,
Well, they got him at 190, 195. I thought it was going to be 190. So they gave him 5. So again, they keep giving, you know? I ain't worrying about the weight. You know what I'm saying? We got to deal with it. We taking the fight. We signed the contract. We're going to make it do what it do. You know?
how much do you think he's going to weigh like the night of the fight? Like, yeah, and both. Like, is there anything in place where like Jake can't weigh more than like?
Based on how he handled himself through camp. Camp is the most important thing because if you have a good camp, you're going to have a great fight. So my thing is just making sure the camp is good. We doing all the necessary things, dealing with the weight, the gloves and all that stuff. You know?
Ford suggested that Gervonta Davis should be permitted to use his usual 8-ounce gloves, while Jake Paul, given his heavier weight, should compete with 10-ounce gloves. According to Ford, this adjustment would create a more balanced and fair playing field for both fighters.
Jake, I see y'all doing all this betting and stuff, right? And I'm looking at the fight because I'm his coach. This is a very serious fight, and I'm a very serious person. My question to you is, where the 12-ounce gloves come from? Why y'all couldn't take 10 and he had 8? Already he given up 4 ounces of the gloves. I gotta say this because y'all betting all this money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, wait. You guys were the ones that wanted 12-ounce gloves, not me. I'll do 8. Fuck, I'll do 4. I'll do 2 ounces. I'll do bare knuckle. Like,
I wasn't aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that he can handle himself.
so what do you want? 10 ounce, 8 ounce? What do we
Well,
want?
if he the one said that, I'm gonna go with that. I wasn't aware of that.
No, the 12 ounce came from your guys' side.
No,
and
it
I
did not.
on God. Perfect. Then what do you want? 10?
No, I didn't say that.
So 10 ounces?
It don't matter to me. It don't
Perfect.
matter.
It doesn't matter to him. So
It don't
back to
matter.
what I always wanted, which was 10 ounces. Great.
Well, you just
Thank
made
you for
something
the-
It don't
clear to me.
matter.
You just
Thank
made
you.
something clear to me because I didn't know because you fight in 10s, he fight in 8s.
Yeah, your
You
guys'
understand
side.
what I'm saying? So I'm like 12
I can
ounces. He's
show
giving
the
up 4.
emails and the screenshots.
I
You
get
guys
that.
asked for 12
it's
ounces.
part of negotiation. I get it.
No,
now.
let's
I'm
do
aware
it.
of
10 ounces, 8. Let's do it. That's great. That's going to make it more exciting for the fans. Thank God. I wanted 10s.
Dana White didn't hold back when discussing Jake Paul's approach to matchmaking. He openly criticized Paul for consistently choosing opponents who are either smaller or outside his natural weight class, arguing that Paul should fight someone his own size. White emphasized that when Paul has faced fighters closer to his own build and skill level, he's struggled, a point he believes exposes how these uneven matchups hurt the credibility of the sport. Sharing his thoughts on the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis bout, White labeled it as heavily one-sided. He acknowledged Davis's punching power, but questioned whether it would matter against a much larger opponent. According to White, Paul's size and strength advantage could make it extremely difficult for Davis to get inside and land effectively, meaning that while Davis has the talent, his chances of a knockout are slim at best.
It's like when you
Who do you got?
you guys need to fight guys your fucking same size. You know what I mean?
Straight up ignored.
When you fought Floyd, you are massive. You're a massive fucking dude. Floyd's tiny. And I'm sure when you were training, you're like, all right, I'm going to hit this guy with a couple punches and grab him, tie him up. And he did hit you with a fucking bomb of an overhand right one time. And you fucking ate it. You ate that punch.
Logan's like proud of it. He's like, yeah, I did. Hell yeah, I ate that punch from a 140-pounder. You're damn right, dude. Now, granted, it's Floyd Mayweather, but you're still 200 pounds, dog. You know what I mean? This is why, and I agree with Dana on this, this is why the Gervonta fight makes no sense to me. Because even, yes, Floyd didn't have the punching power Gervonta had, but even if Gervonta lands, I don't see him hurting Jake to the point he knocks him out. So what are we even doing? Where's the idea of this gonna, where's the idea that Gervonta's even gonna hurt him? He may hurt him to the body, you know, whatever. Jake doesn't want to throw as much, but I don't see him one punch knocking Jake out. And, you know, the same thing was kind of said with Logan. Like, okay, Floyd probably won't knock him out, but probably going to outbox him. I get where Dana's coming from. These things are not meant to be competitive fights. They're meant to make money and to, I guess, scratch that itch of the circus mystery unknown.
And Gervonta, I think, hits way harder than fucking Floyd, but he's too small. I mean, your brother's going to be able to, you know, get inside on him, put his weight on him, tie him up. But I don't hate your brother. Your brother's out there doing his thing. But it cracks me up that they want to start suing people that are talking shit when your brother talks more shit than anybody talks.
I think the thought process behind it is, okay, so Jake and I are obviously pretty polarizing individuals, and when an echo chamber starts and a rumor mill starts of like staged fight bullshit, which like these fights aren't staged, you know, that's just, it's at that level, it's like almost impossible. I think they think that it affects the business and it affects the brand because people discredit him as actually.
Most boxing analysts believe that when Jake Paul steps into the ring with Gervonta Davis, he could be in for a harsh reality check. They emphasize that Davis isn't just a power puncher. He's a seasoned technician who has spent years perfecting his craft against elite competition, mastering the nuances of timing, distance control, footwork, and ring IQ. While Paul continues to develop his skills, experts argue that Davis's pinpoint precision is dangerous enough to change the fight with a single, well-placed shot. On the other hand, Paul's defense still lacks polish, his reactions can be predictable, and his ring awareness remains largely untested at this level. Many professionals agree that the gap in skill and experience isn't just noticeable, it could prove to be the deciding factor when the two finally meet.
Tank Davis look crazy, bro. Chilaquiles. Gervonta Tank Davis hitting a heavy bag in preparation for his Jake Paul fight November 14th down there in Florida. Man looks absolutely amazing. Man looks like a monster. Man looks like precision. Jake Paul cannot take those body shots. You mean to tell me somebody who done fought UFC fighters and a man with Parkinson's disease can take a body punch from Gervonta Tank Davis and y'all basing y'all logic just because Jake Paul is big? No, Tank's gonna go ahead and put this man to sleep. I'm telling y'all that right now. If Tank don't put this man to sleep, he done let the black community down, he done let boxing down, and he ain't never been that nice. You Tank fans, y'all trying to give him a pass. If y'all said Tank is as skilled as y'all say he is, if he does not put Jake Paul to sleep and stop Jake Paul, his boxing career is absolutely voided. He already don't care about legacy, and just imagine he don't knock out Jake Paul, and now y'all gonna say it's not a real fight, it's an exhibition. No, we not giving no passes, bro. This Gervonta Tank Davis, he needs to put Jake Paul to sleep. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, Jake Paul too big. No, Jake Paul chin ain't never been tested by somebody that hit as hard as Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank should put this man to sleep with ease. I'll say that respectfully. If you don't put him to sleep,
a 2-pack of ass. That shit stinks.
That's a 2-pack of ass at the highest level. And it's a musty energy at the highest level. Get it together. Get it together. Tank looks amazing. That's the Chilaquiles.
Boxing analyst Luke Thomas has also weighed in on the highly anticipated matchup. While he acknowledged Gervonta Davis's explosive power and world-class finishing instincts, Thomas noted a noticeable lack of enthusiasm from Davis during recent press conferences and promotional events. His body language appeared distant, almost as if he viewed the fight as a business obligation rather than a genuine competitive challenge. Thomas cautioned that this kind of mindset could be risky. He warned that underestimating Jake Paul's motivation and preparation might backfire, suggesting that even though Davis is the more skilled boxer on paper, his apparent detachment could unintentionally give Paul a psychological advantage going into the fight.
In MMA, do you feel the same? Yeah, I mean, you know, you could make the argument that Tyson Fury also didn't stick to the order of what was in front of him as a pure boxer due to taking the, I can't even remember if one on his record at this point or not, but whatever, the Francis Ngannou boxing match, and he won it by the skin of his teeth and moved on. But there was a delay as a consequence to make that. Now that ended up being a little bit intriguing because of how well Francis did. But you know, this is not the first time major boxing has been interrupted in that way. However, at least both of them are heavyweights. Like this is gerrymandered weight classes or whatever the fuck they're doing to get around it. And it's an exhibition. They're using big ass gloves. Like it's a whole thing. So in that sense, it's a little bit different. It's not different in the sense of a boxer in his prime or relative prime.
Former world champion Carl Froch echoed similar concerns, warning that Jake Paul's size and unconventional punching power could pose a serious threat to Gervonta Davis, who has never faced an opponent of that magnitude. Froch pointed out that Davis simply isn't accustomed to taking shots from someone carrying that much extra weight and strength. His remarks reflect a growing sense of unease within the boxing community, with many viewing the fight less as a genuine competition and more as a spectacle, one that raises questions about both legitimacy and fighter safety. Froch issued a strong warning regarding the potential dangers of the matchup, emphasizing the reported 65-pound weight difference between the two fighters as a major cause for concern.
The fight that's coming up is Tank Davis versus Jake Paul.
Oh, this is such a circus.
Yeah. Look, according to BetOnline.ag, Gervonta Davis is favored -240, Jake Paul's +190. So more than twice the odds for Davis. Davis is a lot smaller, but he's a real serious fighter.
I'm predicting a third-round knockout.
Ooh.
Third round knockout. He's out of there. Listen, I don't know what's the bigger joke, that fight or Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather.
We'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, this is honestly just disappointing. As a boxing fan, to just keep seeing these circuses happen over and over again.
I don't know if the rumor's true, but I heard Floyd was talking about coming out of retirement to fight Crawford. Now that's got some panache to it.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
but
it would be.
I think Floyd would end up taking a loss.
Finally.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like he'd mess up that record.
Yeah, and I would respect him for it because we know how much he's tried to protect the record. Take the risk. This is what great fighters are supposed to do.
Yeah, but it's interesting because people were saying that Terrence Crawford should retire because he's 43-0 at this point.
Okay.
He's like 37 years old. I personally don't.
But he still got the goods though.
Oh, he's got the goods.
Yeah, he still got the goods.
Because Canelo was a monster. Had been dominating for a while.
Right.
And like he had only had 2 losses, one of which was Mayweather, very early in